Good morning, all Ugandans. Hope your night was fine. And on my side, and the rest of you who are in the cause in the fight for freedom, I know it wasn't a good night at all. Good morning, Ugandans. Good morning, everywhere you are. Good morning, all those who are in the cause and the fight for freedom. I know it wasn't a good night for you because people are not happy at all. I don't think anyone who is in the cause of fighting for freedom in Uganda is happy at this particular moment. You might not be knowing the reason only if you are not informed. But all those who are informed at this time know the reason as to why you who is in the fight for freedom should not be happy at all. We have just had this dictator, Yoweri Museveni, of recent yesterday. Even Bobi Wine confirmed on his post on social media. The military has been put all over his home. The military have been put surrounding his home. They have put him under house arrest. The reason being, the dictator Yoweri is afraid of him. He is afraid of him disrupting the swearing in ceremony, which is going to take place on the 12th of May. I don't think this is proper. I really don't think this is proper. Why do you reach that extent of being a proper coward and yet at the same time you claim you are the best on the most hardworking president in all Africa and you reach that extent of being a coward? This is a clear indication that shows that you lack confidence in the results of the elections that were brought out. You had an interference with the electoral commission and it led to the announcement of votes the other way. So this is the reason as to why you're cowardizing. You're not confident at all. But I want to ask you, may you please release BOBI from the house arrest? That is being a coward. Just stop it. You can't just keep on ruling the people by deciding for them. People also have to decide, and sometimes I know the pressure which BOBI has mounted on the dictator is too high that the dictator cannot manage to just look on. He is afraid anytime he will be thrown out of power. He knows that all the outside world, the countries abroad, are not happy with him. I think his best allies at this particular time maybe China. I think, but I know even those allies cannot be willing to continue if they see things going out of hand. I'm afraid of our country, Uganda. What if it reaches a time that we start getting sanctions from everywhere for the kind of dictatorship that is taking place in the country? The results of these elections, especially the presidential elections, are not believed by the great countries like the United States. It is not believed by the great countries like Britain and the whole European Union. And these are some of the good countries that have been helping Uganda. They always donate a lot of money, a lot of funds to Uganda. They always try to support Uganda in each and every way, militarily wise, of course, and in always major aspects. We have what we call the US aid. We have what we call the UK aid. They're always here to support us in Uganda. But now, if they get upset with us and they say they are putting sanctions on Uganda because of the dictatorship that is taking place, what are we gonna do? So I will want to ask Yoweri to release Bobby Wine, free him. He's not planning anything like you're cowardizing and thinking that he's planning or organize his own swearing in ceremony. These are all fake news. I know Yoweri is just afraid of this guy because he knows the power that this guy is having. People are able to listen to this guy and they fail to listen to Yoweri. And that is why he has the reason to fear. He's afraid. But no wonder Even if he is standard, he has locked a guy in his home, does not allow him to come out because he knows that this guy might cause confusion to against the swearing in ceremony. And he tells us that they tell us that the information reaching the government is that Bobi is planning to organize his own swearing in ceremony and swear himself as president of the Republic of Uganda, just like Jesus Besigye did one time. And I don't think that is a problem. We know he's the legitimately elected one. So I don't think his swearing in would be something which is like to be criminalized. No, it will be right. What can we do in our country, Uganda, where we have lacked the opportunity to exercise our rights at this time? We should have Bob out of his house arrest that is currently taking place. The military have the power to do everything, but should be in the favor of the citizens of the country. Should be what is favoring the voices of the many, not what is favoring the voice of one person who orders them to do, and they just go and do that. That is not proper at all. I don't think it is proper, and that is why I ask for everyone. Let's call for the release of BOBI from house arrest because I don't think it is gonna be like gonna yesterday. Even today, it's the same. Tomorrow, it will be the same. This is total lack of freedom. In the Constitution of Uganda, it states clearly that citizens have the right to freedom of speech and expression. Citizens have the right to freedom of movement within their country, Uganda. But now, if someone is locked up just because somebody is cowardizing because he's guilty of what he's done, is there any freedom? The Constitution lacks meaning. We have to go by the Constitution, not by our greed and desires. This is greed of power, and this is the problem in Africa. All people are having that greed for power. When somebody comes to power and tests the sweetness, there's no one to live, and that's why the Constitution of African countries are always been tampered with by the leaders, by the presidents who are in power. I really appreciate Kenya and Tanzania. You in the East African countries, you'll find that these countries have always tried to observe the constitution. If I check like the term limits in Tanzania of 5 years, since it was put in place, it has taken over 20 years, over 30 years, not even on the 20, on over 30 years, whereby a president is supposed to serve for only 2 terms. You serve for the 5 years. If you want to contest, run for the elections again, you run. And if you win, you honor bid for that term. And that is all. Just like the United States do, you have a maximum of 2 terms. And the constitution of Tanzania has not been played with. I want to appreciate this African nation because this is how democracy in Africa has to be exercised, but not dictating on the matters each and every time. In Uganda, it started way back in 2005 when they removed the term limits of ruling for 2 terms as the president because Yoweri felt like he had not yet got enough of the leadership. Remember, by 2005, um, he had ruled already for 19, around 18, 19 years there because he started ruling in 1986, meaning by 2005, he had ruled already for 18 or 19 years, but he still had greed for more. That's why the term limits had to be removed. Everything is possible with your worry. In tampering with the constitution, he does anything to make sure the constitution has been tampered with in his favor. When it came to 2021 general elections, they knew that he would be caught up by the age because the constitution clearly stated that you should not be younger than 35 years and you should also be not older than 75 years of age in order to contest as the president of the Republic of Uganda. And he knew that it would catch him upside. And that's why 2 years back, we had a lot of wrangles in the country whereby people were challenged by Yoweri when he gave the money bags to NRM MP, who instead supported the removal of the age limit, and they succeeded. The few people who were in the fight for the cause, like Bobby, did not succeed because they didn't have the power of the money. They were not in control of the government, so they intimidated them and took over. So they had to amend the constitution, and this was not good. All of you remember the time of the Toji Quatako. That was not good at all. So here we come. The guy contests in elections, which is disputed everywhere, and they claim him a winner, and yet we don't see the evidence of winning from whatever took place. We know that the winner is BI. So what are we gonna do in our country, Uganda? A country where we have lacked freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom of democracy. We have shadow democracy, not the real democracy. So I demand that BI be released out of the house arrest, and he has to attend the swearing in ceremony from where he wants. If he wanna be somewhere, let him be, but not denying him freedom of movement. Thank you.